it's Tuesday, but that's how I live my life. Sometimes you don't want to go to sleep. See, when you sleep, that's when things happen. And I think sometimes that's when you don't have any control over your thoughts or yourself or anything. I was thinking about power, the power that we have, that we've been given to from our Creator. Sometimes it's a scary thought, thinking, I have the power to rule my life. Sometimes you wish that choices and decisions was made for you, that then you really wouldn't know what you was made out of. You really have to use your inner strength, your intelligence, your creativity, your thoughts, your actions. Oh my. Sometimes we do things on the spur of the moment, or just a click of the finger, and not realizing the change we made, maybe in our life and maybe in somebody else's. Just one word, one thought, one touch. Touch, there's a good one. Have you been touched lately? Has your Heavenly Father touched your heart in any way? Has He been speaking to you? Have you been listening? You know that it is a beautiful thing to have an inner spirit that guides you. Sometimes you get this feeling that, I don't know, like a feeling of doom or a feeling of joy, a feeling of sorrow, a feeling like, I don't know if I can put in another day. I'm tired. I'm weary. But you know, these are the best days to be living. So many people, when I was younger, the parents and grandparents used to say, I wished I lived in the end days. I always wondered what they meant by that. Now I am in the end days. Is it scary? Hell yes, it's scary. Person being crazy to say that they're not scared, unless they just have no idea what's going on around them. And that we are living in the time that any minute the call could be called up yonder, the roll, and you wonder if your name is in that roll. And we've got this moment. Not saying we have another moment. We do have the power to lay our burdens down, to say, okay, I'm listening. What should I do now? Where does this story end? There's a beginning and there's an end to everything. We are facing a lot of challenges here in our life, some more than others. Some of us have, I don't know, you think of certain people, or even people that you're just acquainted with, he's going through so many trials and tribulations, and sometimes you question it. Why? Is it because they're a bad person? Did they do something evil, or did he not do the way they were supposed to do? You know, it's hard not to question. It's one of the hardest things it is for me, not to question. I'm better at it than I used to be, but it's, you know, that power. You got to take hold of that power. You've got to use that power for good. You know, you and only you can make changes in your life, in your heart. And it's scary enough knowing that you have the power of your own thoughts, actions, and but to be left with somebody in your life that is powerless, and you have to take the control of that person. Oh my God, do you question yourself? Oh, daily. Daily. Moment by moment. Have I made the right choices? Have I got on my knees and prayed? Have I contacted the right people? For sometimes it's so overwhelming that you need to have outsiders come in and take some of the burden and load off. Because, you know, when you get wore down, when you have you're the only powerless person or persons may have, that you are their only hope, their only escape, their only thought of ever being able to get back into reality and to think for themselves, speak for themselves. And sometimes that never happens. Sometimes they end up their life in a hopeless situation when all they can do is think. They can't speak to you. But touch is very important. A touch of a loved one or a kind person is so important to somebody that is not able to, what do I want to say, interact with you or the loved ones or others around you the way that they used to. I had to deal with that with my mother. And I'm telling you, it either makes you or it breaks you. You really find out what you're made of. And sometimes when you're the only one standing that will take on the responsibility of caring and loving and giving your last breath, your last moment, so that person can be here. I can only imagine. No, I can't imagine. I've tried. Sorrow, grief, pain, agony, trials. Every day you think, okay, now what do I gotta go through today? But then you look on the other side of the coin and you're thinking, okay, I'm that person's only hope, and I have to be strong. I have to be in charge. I have to know the right thing to do. Or I have to do something, whether it's right or wrong, but I have to do something. I can't just let things stand as they are. I have to take responsibility. It's not an easy plight, but we knew when we was put here on this earth that we wasn't going to have all fun and games or candy and roses and be joy all the time. Sometimes you look at other people and you think, my God, they've never had any trial or tribulation. But you don't know what they're living inside. Maybe they're dealing with guilt. Might be imprisoned with saying something to hurt somebody or doing something to hurt somebody or not opening up their heart or their arms to hug somebody and tell them, hey, it's okay. You made a mistake. Do you know how that frees you? Because I carried that for a while. I carried that for a while, and I'll tell you, then I think about it, you're not hurting that other person, you're hurting yourself. Because that other person probably could care less. But it's your spirit. It's crushed. And you wallow in it, you try to shove it in the back of your mind, and you try to think, well, that doesn't matter if this person doesn't talk to me, or if they've done something to offend me, and now I'm feeling like I'm the guilty party. It's easy to just walk away and never reach out. Again, touch, words of love, compassion, actions from your heart, deep down in your soul. It's amazing how your brain works, how we're put together. It's just amazing sometimes to think that we are walking, talking human beings, and we can make the world better, or we can make it worse. We can help somebody along the way, or we can trample on them, and we can shove them out of the way like they're nothing, and that they don't deserve a chance. Or I know we're placed on this earth for a reason, and I know we're placed in with the people that we're with for a reason. Sometimes you don't like the situation or the circumstances of, let's say, family, friends, acquaintances. Sometimes you don't like the way they do things, and there you are, you're judging. We have no right to judge, but we do. Oh God, we do. That's the most judgmental. And it's crying shame, because only our Father in heaven has the right to judge. Judge ye not, that you may not be judged also. How it's hard to just sometimes think to yourself. When you judge yourself, sometimes you're the worst judge. You think you're a failure. You think you're your life doesn't matter, or you think nobody loves you. I've gone through that so many times in my life. I'm a very compassionate, emotional, spiritual being, and I get hurt really easy, but I don't let it be shown, not all the time. It's not easy. It's not easy to walk the walk, talk the talk. It's not easy to struggle each and every day, not knowing where your next penny's coming from to feed your family, or if you have money to go to a doctor, or I know they can't turn you down if you don't have insurance and stuff of this nature. But there is times that you think you're up against a brick wall and there's no way out, and so you give up. You just throw your hands up in the air and say, okay, I'm done. I can't do anymore. Can't is on Moat Street. You can't do it, or you won't do it. Is it an easy way out? Suffering. We haven't seen anything yet. It's at our door. We are living in the last days. I know people have heard this for years and years and years and say, I'm so sick of hearing that, this is the last days. Well, it is. This is the latter days. Let it be known. This is the time, right now, this minute, to question your motives, question your actions, your thoughts, your dealings with people, your reason for being here, because there's a reason for the things you go through. It's to build character. I say if somebody doesn't have any troubles, woes, or anything of this nature, how can you even carry a conversation with somebody that hasn't went through anything? I mean, for crying out loud. If you never lost a loved one, you never grieved, okay? If you've never been sick and got cured or well, then you don't have a story to tell. If you've never been given something for no reason at all, and you wonder where it came from, and it was a blessing, and you shake your head like, well, how does this person know I needed this? Spirit, mind, heart, soul. It's connected. You got to keep them together. Keep it all working together, like the spokes on a wheel. They got to keep turning. Don't let it get clogged up somewhere in your life where you're at that, and you're pushing, and you're pushing, and you're so tired. You can't get up the hill. And you try, and you try. And then you just stop. And you say, the hell with it. The hell with it. That's the adversary talking. He wants you to say to hell with it. He wants you to give up. He wants you to throw in the towel. He wants you to think, oh, there is no hope out of this situation. There is no escaping. Oh, but there is. You see, he's living here now, and he's having a field day. Oh gosh, is he having a field day. With all his little demons running everywhere, doing little things to each and every person, knowing what to use to tick you off, what to use to make you go over the edge, what thoughts to put in your mind. But you are stronger than him. You just got to let him know that. You got to rebuke him. Tell him to go to hell where he belongs. Because he's going to be there again soon. Yeah. And all his little helpers that think that they're going to glory land. They've been lied to and deceived, just like the rest of us. Sometimes people are placed in our lives just to test us, to see what decision you're going to make, to see how you're going to react to a certain situation. Are you going to be helpful, or are you going to be caring? Are you going to be authoritative? Are you going to be resentful? Are you going to be compassionate? Are you going to be snobby, standoffish? When you walk down the street, or you're in a store, or in a restaurant, do you ever just maybe pick one person out in the crowd and kind of wonder what kind of life they're living? You can't always tell by the way somebody's dressed. That always agitated me. People judge people by their appearance. That is bullshit. That is so stupid. Some people say, oh, well, don't get around that person, they stink, or they don't have good clothes, or they don't, they live on the bad side of town, or, well, you haven't lived your full life yet. How do you know where you're going to end up? You might be a millionaire today and tomorrow be on the streets, homeless. And that person that you was looking at, thinking to yourself, oh, I might get something if I get around them, or whatever, But that person might be the kindest, most gentle spirit that you'd ever want to encounter. So don't judge a book by its collar or its cover. Open up your heart, your mind. You never know, that might be the one person, be the last person you ever see before you leave this world. And you're right there, just you and that person. And then you really got some thoughts in your mind like, oh my, what's happening? How do I ask this person to help me? Why am I stuck with this person and everybody else is gone? Where's my lesson at? You're learning your lesson. Oh. I don't know, I get to talking sometimes and I just start rambling. I might go from one subject to another. I might be all way out in left field for somebody, or I might be hitting home for somebody. I just know that there are people who need people. Loneliness is so sad. Depression is horrible. Not knowing when you wake up the next day how you're going to deal with that day. Are you going to continue to just wallow in your loss, your sadness, your sorrows? Or are you going to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and live the life that you're supposed to live before the end is upon you? While we can do something about the situation that we're in, or the life that we're living, take hold of that. Grab hold of that as tight as you can and say, I can do this with help from my Creator, from family, from friends. It could be just somebody that you don't even know can give you an encouraging smile, or hi, how are you today? I try to make it my suit to encounter on people on a daily basis. I may be called weird. I have been. But that is my gift. One of my gifts. I have many gifts. My Heavenly Father has given me many, many gifts. And I try to use them.